Hi, my name is Quentin Gause. I went to Bishop Kearney High School, attended Rutgers University, proud graduate. Played for the Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots, and the Denver Broncos. Also, I've been in the AAF Football League, and also currently playing in the XFL Football League, the LA Wildcats. So, that's kind of my quick bio. Me growing up as a kid, come from a great family. The Gause family, my grandpa owned a restaurant, grandma and grandpa owned a restaurant for 20 years. So they're entrepreneurial already. Like, just already as a kid, seeing that lets me know, I got to work hard. I have to grind. That's kind of been the mindset since growing up. Having my dad, my mom, my Uncle Kayla, they helped me get to where I am today with the mental, with the day-to-day grind. And that's the mindset. Like, that's why I love my family, because we are about that, where everybody is accountable to each other to be successful. And that's what it's all about. And that's why, I am the way I am. When I have kids one day, they're going to be taught the same thing. So just come from an accountable family that's grinders, entrepreneurial based. And yeah, I love to help kids out. We have a nonprofit called Next Level Beyond. My family, about Iron Visuals. Iron Visuals is a digital media company that I started in 2017. My brother is a co-founder. He also created a company called Tour Skipper, which I'm the co-founder of. And yeah, we're just continually building, innovating, trying to be different, and help impact the market where we can within the travel tourism industry. And also, we've done a lot of diverse work with like sports and event spaces as well too. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit about myself in the short. Kind of be short with it. Yeah.
So I know we have a lot going on in society right now, and to be honest, I'm really hating digital marketers that are going out there and using it to their advantage, talking about it. So we won't really dive into that much. But what kind of, with that aside, what are you most excited about, like, in today's society for athletes, not even athletes, maybe even for just entrepreneurs, and how what they can kind of do to, career, family wise, whatever you want to talk about, like, that you feel excited about during this time of our lives?
Yeah, I feel like right now, is a great time to get as much content out of yourself, if it's yourself, if it's your family, do what you enjoy and what you love. It's the best time right now. This time with the coronavirus and all this stuff going on, it's perfect time for you to think about what you actually love to do. Like, what do you like to do in your life? Instead of sitting home and doing nothing and wasting time, this is the time where you should be reading books. This is the time you should be researching new industries. That time to do that little hobby or whatever you've always loved to do that possibly can make you some money down the road, but you just never had time because you worked the same job for years and never had time to take a break. This is your time. This is your time. Athletes, entrepreneurs, people that go to work day to day. This is everyone's time to find out who they are. What's your in your life? What's your purpose in your life? That's a hard one to figure out. But pray about it. What's your purpose? And just seek it. So I think it's a perfect time for a lot of people to really get themselves out there, who they are, and really start to do what you love.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get intimidated by that because they go out there and they go to get a degree and they're afraid that their degree is not going to do what they want to do, or as an athlete, they're playing on the field, they just don't feel like they have time to focus on other things. But I think the thing with life is that you come to a point where everyone's going to make mistakes. It's about learning from those mistakes. And who cares? Like me, for instance, I job hopped for years. I actually got my bachelor's right during the last recession. So when I came out, it was there was literally no jobs. It was very, very cheap. I literally had to do it was horrible. It was like a sweatshop. I had to do a winter graphic design job at a seasonal card company where we were working us 7 days a week for 2 months in a row, bringing us food. I gained 20 pounds in a month because I was literally there bringing us food in, free food so that we wouldn't, and that wasn't I wasn't stressed at that time. I was just stressed to get a job at that time. But as I grew and I then eventually worked for the Phoenix Suns and did all that stuff, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And it was hard for me to leave that job because I loved sports so much. But working for a sports team in itself, they basically don't pay you as much because they basically say, hey, here's free tickets. And it was hard to even watch the games, So it's hard because when you go through that stress. And then eventually I just was like, I'm going to go out on my own. I taught myself the web development and stuff like that. So, and I've been learning the last 3 to 4 years I've been in business. It's a learning experience. But what I love about it is that you're always growing and change. There's change. I think I like change, So right. I'm able to process this. If I don't have a new client, I'm not stressing. I'm worrying about fixing stuff or improving it. Learning using my own business as my guinea pig in a way really helps with that. And during rough times like this too, it separates out the strong from the weak.
That's so true. That's so true. And there's a lot of people that are in this moment right now in our society that, may have lost. Yeah, some people have lost their jobs. Some people don't know what to do with their time right now because they just have so much free time. And it's so true. It's like the strong does separate from the strong and the weak. Like the survival of the fittest. Like at this point, like mentally, what are you going to do to? Like sometimes you got sometimes I heard this from one of my mentors. Like sometimes you got to be out there like picking up the crumbs, and it'll get you to where you need to go. Like you can't just give up. You can't give up. Like you said, constantly change is happening. It's happening right now in my business. Like constant change. You know what? I'm going to be successful. It's going like the next after this Corona thing's over. Like just coming out the gate strong.
I know, and that's what I keep telling myself too. And I'm one of those persons that's an all or nothing guy. So of course, at first I was depressed. I am kind of watching the news, and I'm not really political. When people have their side with Trump, I'm not really. I'm not going to say good or bad about him because I feel like as a society, I look at it from a business perspective, and I see certain things he's doing well. But I understand at the same time there is no really right and wrong right now. But looking at it and trying to say, all right, I'm going to stay positive, maybe, at this point I'm like, oh, I'm going to get myself, I was going to hire two full-time employees this year. And I was like, oh, I'm ready. I'm at that point. It took me 3 to 4 years before I got to that point. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get any more business this year. I'm pretty sure I have 2 clients one's in Illinois and the other one's in New York that were going to sign on with me this month. And I'm like, well, that's probably going to be held off, if not completely. So that sucks because you get your hopes up, a lot in business, and things happen. It's like, oh, well, 3 or 4 years down the, down the drain, but they're really not, because you have to look at your processes and how much you've grown. And damnedest if the first thing I'm not going to do is go out and buy a guru course, because I learned year one, why would I have someone else teach me something when I could just hire someone or learn it myself and pay that person to do it, instead of paying you a lot of money. So that's a way for people to learn. Maybe you can do a course if you're at the very beginning. But read. I'm a multitasker, so and I have a 9-month-old, so I'm buying the book and I'm putting it on while I'm doing work or while I'm mowing the grass or taking care of my kid, because you have to at this point, and I work from home most of the time. So my business, a lot like what you said earlier, wasn't really affected, too much with having employees work from home and stuff. That's just the way I kind of run everything I do, and at least at this point in time. And so, but it does put a strain. You have so much stress and so much new things and what ifs that it's actually harder to work. Because you're like, well, everything's right on a standstill. It's kind of like a rainy day in Seattle. You're kind of like, oh, well, you're city, and it sucks when you see everyone going crazy or upset or you can't get rid of the news. And you, like me, we do social media, and we'll kind of get that into the next question a little bit. I do social media a little bit. It's not my main sell. It's really the last thing I go to when it comes to athletes, because I think that athletes need more so the conversion kind of situation with other stuff that they don't understand, like SEO, PPC, and the website and branding and stuff. But I damnedest if I can't stand going on social media and seeing all this news, and at the same time, like, I'm not going to post anything about it. But it's stressful. So why don't you tell people, first off, what did you like better? When you were in the AFL, did you enjoy that better than how the XFL was? What was kind of the inner workings that you're allowed to say that you feel made a big difference between the two leagues?
Well, I feel like, the XFL is way better. I feel like the XFL, first off, a lot more fans. Business practices a lot way better. They had an agenda to just sell a product, and I found that out after the league was done, that they wanted to kind of sell this, the technology, betting and stuff with Vegas, and then we were involved, so we were kind of like guinea pigs, basically. So once I learned some of that from some of my friends who worked in the head office, it's like, man, it wasn't as fun anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say one thing about the AAF. Mike Singletary coached me. I think that was one of the best experiences. Like, I got coached by one of my favorite football players of all time, and I learned so much from him. He taught me.
What was his name?
Mike Singletary.
Oh, Mike Singletary. Oh, yeah.
Singletary.
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice.
It's such a cool experience.
I tried to get into it. I tried to get into the XFL. I tried to get into it, but I think that by the time I started getting into it is when it canceled. But I'm pretty sure they're going to come back next year. I think Vince McMahon did a good thing, and that's another thing for a lot of people to realize in marketing is that usually the first thing comes out and it fails, and then something else comes along and says, hey, we're just going to copy all the good from that. But then the clientele look at it as, it's not new anymore. We get it now. So it usually works a lot better the second time around. So he learned from his mistakes, I feel. I mean, the first time around, he's focused on a complete niche of wrestlers and football players, people that like wrestling and people like football, which was a strange, small niche. There wasn't too many people that did that. So now that he kind of embraced the NFL and he kind of went in and did that, I think it's going to be a lot more successful. And I watched a few of your plays, man. You're doing pretty good out there.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
So one thing that I wanted to geek out a lot on this, because you and I have kind of some pain points in common when we deal with a lot of these companies, that a lot of the people out there yet either don't know or they just haven't hit that point in their business or where they're at, where they understand. So I thought that we could geek out a little bit here. So when you look at an athlete in itself, and you can use yourself an example as you want, but what would you consider a really good athlete brand? Like, do you have anyone out there that you kind of look at or look up to when it comes to not just on the field, but what they've done off the field to kind of build themselves up to be to grow a successful athletic business outside of the game?
Yes, I would say a mixture of a couple guys. I would say Tom Brady. There's another guy named Nazir. I can't remember. Nazir. It's Nazir Good. There's a guy who's on the Eagles, Goody. I forgot his first name. The last name was Goody. Well, I'll start off with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's brand, I love like how he positioned himself correctly. Like, at first, like, you didn't really see much about Tom Brady, like in his like personal life and stuff. Like in the early 2000s, like he's winning Super Bowls, but he didn't really have like a brand and stuff like that. Once he started putting together TV and came out with a couple books and really started to push his brand out a little bit more, he really took his time to really start doing that. And I like kind of his method, and especially like his book. He talks about in his book, like he gives tips about like if you lose in the playoffs, like keep training like you're going to the championship. That's how I keep my body ready throughout the whole year and stuff. Like, I don't know, guys like that are very, they take their time putting stuff together with your team. I like how he kind of went about his brand. Another guy is Najee Good. That's what it is. Najee Good. Goodies. He played with the Philadelphia Eagles when I was there. And he invested, so off the field, he invested in a lot of tech companies and stuff. And I think he partnered with one to create, and I could be wrong, I need to make him. When you go on Instagram and you see the little circle on an item you want to buy, and it pops up and you can buy it right there. I think that was his technology, and he was talking about that back in 2016. So it could be his company. I'm not sure.
Are you talking about like Google? Are you talking about like Google Shop, or are you talking about? I'm not quite sure exactly what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Ajax feature where you can kind of just click a button and it automatically purchases the product, or is it like the iWatch feature where you can just kind of use your watch?
It's the feature on. Okay, so it's just like I think it may be Google, but I just remember he spoke about that they wanted to implement on social media at the time. They didn't have it, where when you scroll through Instagram and if you go to trying to think Adidas.com or Virus.com, these clothing brands, and you want it, like they want you to buy it right now. The little white circle, you touch it, it pops up that item immediately, and you're able to purchase it right there. It takes you to another page.
I'll have to take a look at that. I don't know if I've actually seen that yet, and that's some good user experience right there. And that's one thing that is one of the things that a lot of people don't think about, especially with the low end tier clientele, is they just do this, do that. They don't get that those things take a lot of money and time, to the little circle. You know how much money they spent on doing that, So, no, that's interesting. It's funny that you brought up TB12. I actually I'm going to be starting to do more of them, but I'm starting to do my first was about 6 months ago. So everyone who watches it, bear with me because it still needs a lot of work. But I'm doing a brand analysis of players and where they're at with their brand and how they got there, and kind of go through their website and their online marketing and stuff, and kind of give a rating of the good and the bad. And I did TB12, and one of the most genius things that he did, and one thing that I try to tell players to kind of do is leverage. So a lot of players don't really know what to do with their followings. Like you probably know with working with some social media clients of yours, not even just players, but people in general don't know how to leverage that. And I kind of went through, and it was genius, because what he ended up doing is, I always tell players, hey, let's get your personal account to a certain point, and then we'll create your TB12. Like, for instance, like Tom Brady did. I actually went through this in the analysis, and he created his business later on, of course, but he built up his personal enough where he's not really promoting the TB12 too much on his personal, but he's using his personal brand, and then he leveraged it to start kind of bring people over into the business on the TB12 page. And I thought that was genius, because he's not kind of combining them both. He's using both, but he's leveraging one to kind of bring people into the other as kind of a beginning selling process. Because if you're a normal business out there, it is damnedest almost, I'm going to say, it's really hard to grow a following. And you literally have to post, like Gary Vee would say, you have to post like every other day for 5 to 10 years before you get, like, they don't get it unless you're doing paid marketing. So I tell athletes, take advantage of that, because you're getting a lot of fans on board. So let's leverage that. But the funny thing about TB12 is I actually got this aha moment the other day. So I was like, he's going to be screwed, because he's going to go to another team, and he branded himself around the Patriots. So he's using the TB12, the Patriots and all that stuff on his brand. And then I realized just now, I'm like, the only reason he picked Tampa Bay is because it's the initials are TB. I'm like, that's the only reason I bet you he picked that team, because he already talked about wanting a team out in California. A facility out in California, California. So now he's just keeping it onto another coast instead. And I'm like, well, that's kind of genius. I don't know if maybe I'm making it up in my head, but I'm like, that's just too much of a convenience that Tampa Bay is TB and he's going to Tampa Bay. But I mean, yeah. So yeah. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing for both. So that kind of answered my next question. When I was going to say, what is your favorite athlete's brand? You'd probably think of that as Tom Brady at this moment.
I would say I favor his brand, and I'm kind of biased for this reason, is because I went on a mission trip down to Haiti, and mission trip down to Haiti, and when I went on that mission trip, there was this one, organization we went through to do it. When I went there, I found out some information that was like very puzzling. I was like, wait, so they had this facility that they're building right next to this organization. And I'm like, oh, what's that? It was like, oh, that's going to be a turf field. That's athletes and kids to run around. And then they're going to have Under Armour facility so they could, like for workers to build, like, create shoes and stuff for Under Armour and all these brands. I'm like, really? Right here in Haiti? They're like, yeah. So who invested in that? Carson Wentz and Tom Brady. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, Tom Brady came down here with us before. Carson Wentz. Carson actually married one of the people that work here on the staff. I'm like, are you what? So and Carson was one of my teammates as well too. But Tom Brady, like investing in, I don't know. I think the way he goes about everything is just he takes his time. He heartfelt about it. He's a good dude in person. Meeting him and be playing on the same team as him. Like, I just think, I really respect I respect the way he goes about it. He has no drama. Like, he keeps everything low key. Like, he doesn't, he just tries to do the best for his family and for his brand.
And those are the players I personally like to watch, or the humble players. And I'm a huge Atlanta Falcons fan, so I have to have some sort of hatred towards him. Hate's a strong word, but because of what happened in that Super Bowl a few years back, which I still try to forget about. But I like him as a person, so I like him as a player. It's always the players that I see that are out there trying to, are bringing up negative emotions, that tend to bring out and hurt their brands when they do that stuff. But that's genius what they did, because they're going out and they're helping people in Haiti, but they're also finding a way to be smart and leverage how are we going to create product and how are we going to create this. So they're kind of killing two birds with one stone. They're helping and they're helping grow their own business in the process. So that is very interesting. So when you look across, you're kind of in the same field as me in somewhat of a way. Not exactly. I mean, you're visual Iron Visual, correct? When you Iron Visual is a brand agency, but you guys focus on social media and video marketing, correct? Are your big focuses? So with that said, have you seen what are the things that you've seen when it comes to the athlete branding landscape that you think athletes should be doing right now when it comes to growing themselves as a brand?
I think people want to know your story. I think people want to know who you are. They want to get as close as they can to you and feel like they know you since day one. That's what I think that's what athletes should be doing, is really telling their stories. Do a vlog. Take time and answer those messages in your DM. Take time and do it. Like, I don't care if you feel like I don't care what you feel like. Answer those questions from the people that, the kids, the parent, like, they ask some good questions, and you have the troll or people that troll you in your DM sometimes too, that you don't want to answer, but answer, try to be proactive and like where they feel like they can, like that you're there, like, because think about it, before social media, you just watch ET and watch celebrities and like, oh, this celebrity did this movie or this athlete, and now you have access. So utilize your platform and tell your story. I think that's the biggest thing today that athletes should be doing, is really expressing themselves and telling their story.
I agree with you 100%. The story is a huge thing, and it's funny you brought up the blog, is because one thing that I was really trying to push from an online search side is the blogging. I feel like if a player came out and had a website, and I don't see this too much yet, is trying to focus on telling players, hey, let's create a blog for you. Let's, we'll have you write them, but then we'll proofread them and we'll do all that stuff necessary and post them for you. But being able to talk to these people in different outlets, because I see so many athletes going on right now and going, oh, I got an article on ESPN, I got an article on here. And I'm like, man, that'd be a great backlink for you, like for your own website. That'd be geek terms for helping your website grow. But let's create your own blog. You don't need ESPN. You have your own. It's a team effort. So build a team. We have a team here that can help do that for you, and I think blogging is one of those things that's very underutilized right now for athletes, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I do wish that there was a way we could get athletes to, and what's what we're trying to do right now, right? Get them to say, hey, this is a good idea. You know, let's go out there and right, because how many fans would want to know about your day with your family or a training tip that you might be doing, or how you're growing iron visuals. You know, they want to hear that stuff as you as a person, and it does get intimidating for an athlete to go through all their DMs. It does, and there's a lot. I have a player right now that I watch. I have him on his Instagram on my account because we do a lot of their stuff, and so I ignore all those because those are all his personal stuff. But I mean, damn, there's not like 80 of them coming in all the time, and half of them are just funny enough girls saying hi, but but I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. So what's your best advice for athletes out there who kind of want to leverage their personal brand, besides, blogging and stuff like that? What would you say for right now? I know you brought up at the beginning, reading and doing books, not just for athletes, but for anyone right now is a good idea. But what would you give them in advice saying, hey, what is the next steps that I should kind of take to kind of push myself forward?
It depends. So I'll say one thing is like your interest. So what are you most interested in? And I think kind of mapping out your where do you want your brand to go? Where do you see in the near future? Like, what do you want to happen? I think if you can map out kind of the beginning to the end goal, and it obviously will develop later on as well too. But I think if you can map out the whole picture and then you take one step and keep moving forward from there, it kind of helps guide it a little bit better. So I think if the athlete loves to, I'm trying to think, okay, example, Von Miller loves to give kids free glasses. I forgot what he called it. It's a Von Vision or something, I think he calls it. And he wants kids to be able to, see. So like he wants his brand to be around. I mean, he just actually had a vlog he started this year, I think, or last year.
Oh, nice. There you go.
He started that vlog, and he always talks about that constantly. He pushes that a lot, especially when I was out there. He's like, hey, I want to make sure kids are like, can be able to see, like I have problems with my eyes, Von Vision. Like this is what it's about. So like, it's whatever you want to push. Like, what's your cause, or what do you want your personal brand to be? Do you like wearing chains? Do you like tattoos? Do you like whatever niche? Find your niche. Mm-hmm. Find your niche. If you can find your niche, it's gonna help you a lot more. Because it's hard sometimes when you're all over the place. And I've really learned like niching down helps a lot because you can focus on one crowd, and then hey, maybe you can tap into another one later. But find your niche, and that can help you with your brand and find your audience.
So how did you end up finding? How did you end up choosing your audience?
Perfect. So my audience, obviously, I have the sports audience that just loves sports. I know with my account, it's constantly just, hey, I love football. I saw you on the Broncos, Patriots. Hey, I love So I have that account. All right, my main account. Hey, I have to create another page for my iron visual stuff. It's hard. If I post something iron visuals normally on my main account, it's probably not going to get as many likes or follows because you're like, okay, what is this? Mm-hmm. Like cool visuals, but I don't know what doesn't relate to Quentin Gause. Yeah. So I have to put it within my Iron Visuals account, which I created, and we made that. So now I get follows on that. I get people, oh, awesome video, great creative, videos, hashtagging the right, people or the right names, putting the right keywords in there to help show it online. So like, I think with me, it took just like my interest. That's what my interest was. So I'm like, all right, I want to create Iron Visuals. I want to do all this, create a new page. Even with my podcast as well too. I started that 2 years ago, and I have to be more consistent with it. But even when I get it out and I push content out, there's a lot of people that do podcasts that I get a lot of views on stuff, or a lot of listeners. And I'm like, wow, it's just about the life journey, about what you go through and everything. So I think, just your you have to kind of separate it. Just how you said T12, you have to separate it from your personal, but you can kind of let it all loop together. It's like a cycle, big circle. So
Yeah, it is. And it's, yeah, exactly like you said with the TB12, keep your personal and your business separate. I didn't have that luxury with my Instagram because I only had like 60 friends that I brought over from Facebook on my Instagram when I started. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not making a new one. And all my friends were like,
Yeah.
dude, why the hell? You changed it to your business. And all you said is business stuff now. I'm like, dude, there's only 60 of you. I needed to start somewhere. I'm like, I'm not really, and the hardest part with me with personally working, and I'm trying to get better at it myself, is doing the cameras and doing the YouTube stuff and the podcast, because I'm a millennial, but I'm not really a millennial. I was born in 85. So I have a hard time, man. I've never done a selfie in my life. It could put a toll on you, but it's the consistency. It's like you said, it's consistency. So my plan of action now is to get a whole bunch recorded there during this quarantine. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get, 10 to 15 videos recorded, not think about editing and stuff. And then I'm going to go on a run, and then plan them out for the rest of the year. That's kind of what you have to do, especially if you're a one-man show to start. If you have a partner like yourself, that's great. You guys do video and is one of the things that I don't do. So as of right now, I just don't have the manpower for it. And I'm one of those people that just says, hey, I'm going to give quality to my clients, and I just don't feel comfortable doing that and taking their money if I don't feel like it's quality. So I'd rather just not do it in general. But I'm learning, I'm doing the videos right now until I hire my full-time employee, because we're all stagnant right now. It's one of those situations.
Right.
We'll see what happens. But that's true. So, and I always go on a rant with that stuff, and then I forget what we were talking about.
No, it's all good. It's just to learn, it takes time.
So yeah, leveraging. We were talking about the leveraging of the personal brand. So probably the niche, the passion, and you found your niche. I was kind of in the same boat. I actually got business developers all the time being like, you're working with elite athletes. Like they're like, that market, you're never going to reach that market. It's hard. I'm like, I love working and I love working in athletics. Like, I'm like, I love to work out, but I do it for my anxiety. So it's not like I'm going to go out there. I don't want to go out there and become a trainer. I already am really good at the graphic design and the web development. So I'm like, put both my passions together. Let's help elite athletes in that spot. I saw my dad growing up, he would always tell me about when he was a kicker. He didn't play for too long, but so we always had that in our mindset, and I was passionate about it. And I saw how athletes had that. Everyone looks at him and goes, oh, you make so much money, and just looks at him as a fan. And I'm like, dude, it's hard to be an athlete, because hard in different ways, because you do have to focus on, you don't really make all that money. Half of it gets taken out in taxes. And then if you get injured, you get injured. So there's a lot of, so I have to, try to get athletes to realize, look at it, your career as a business more so than a career. Look at it as a business, and then help leverage that, kind of like TB12 did and Tom Brady did, and leverage that to help grow the other stuff. And if you're passionate about, becoming a trainer, do a trainer. If you're passionate about opening a gym, let's open a gym. If you want to buy commercial real estate, do commercial real estate, but find something you're good at, because you're not going to learn, and you're not going to want to learn if you're, let's say you say, hey, I'm going to become an insurance agent. If you don't like selling insurance, then don't become an insurance agent. Right, it's good. I agree with you, and it really helps from the marketing perspective too, because you can hone in and focus on something. So you probably similar to me. I will get referrals from friends that I've done stuff for, or other people that have seen my previous work that are like, I love what you do. Here's a place I need your work. But they don't need to be in the sports niche. They come to me and they're like, I don't care that you work with sports players. I want you to help me with my stuff. So you can still get that referral without having to worry about ruining your niche. And it does. I will tell everyone out there that when you niche, it does take a little bit more time, at least for me, for instance, because I'm not an elite player in this industry. So it's taken me a little bit more time to build relationships and to get the players to understand that I am there for them, and I'm trying to help them in a way that a normal sports marketing agency wouldn't help them. But once it hits, it's going to hit, because I'll start getting in, and I'll start getting that. And it's slowly happening right now. I mean, we're having this conversation, and I've had a few players that I've talked to already, and it's slowly growing. I just started a partnership with another retired athlete who helps on the business development for athletes. So growing those relationships to try to help people is key. And so when it comes to the partnership talk, I'm going to move the role a little bit here and say, what is the number one tool? So not really a partnership, because I guess this could be a tool for you, but what is the number one tool that you personally use right now? And you can go geeky on me if you want to, if there's a tool from the creative side that you use more than a social side.
In regards to just more of the rephrase it.
So what is a tool, an online tool or a program that you use? And it could be a social media platform. It could be, a program that helps you grow your business. It could be anything that you use right now to kind of help that you feel like you're getting the most ROI out of when it comes to building your brand and your business.
I got you. Yeah, so the tools that I utilize online wise, I love utilizing Monday.com.
I have Monday.com.
Airtable.
Yeah.
You got Monday?
Yeah, that's what I use for my employees. Yeah.
I love it. I love Monday. It's so smooth, simple. I could use Airtable, but I don't know. Monday's just smoother. It's so much smoother for some reason.
I like the original view, man. I like it. It's though they are a bit pricey. I will say they're a bit pricey.
It's pricey. It is. Yeah.
So sometimes I look at it and I'm like, well, maybe I should just move here. And then I'm like, but Basecamp, nothing against Basecamp, but it doesn't really help with the flow. It's nice to just attach something to somebody, give them all the information, and then have a list, of things every month.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. So everyone that doesn't know, Monday.com is what would you call it? A task management system for employees?
Yeah. It's a task management system to help be able to, make the workflow a lot easier between employees or client.
Do you use Monday for anything besides your business? Like, do you use it in any way, form, or possible, like out there when you're playing, or to kind of keep yourself organized in different ways?
Yeah, I may use it just for my personal. I mean, just like I put up my entire week schedule on there sometimes, and just Monday through Friday, my tasks I need to get done personally and then business wise. I also write it down too, but it's just, I don't know, I like having it virtual as well. I'm like, checked off, done,
checklist,
done. Time I took to do it. Okay, it took me this long. It's a little bit too long. All right, make sure I trim it down for next time. Let me go to the next task.
The hardest part for me is, so if everyone doesn't know, it has kind of an Excel setup for their main setup, where it's kind of like a sheet of like, you can create multiple tasks, but in those tasks, you can have checklist items. So my problem always has been, I'd make like 5 or 6 things to do, and then I'd look into it and I'd start it and I'd be like, oh, well, really, this is going to be broken up into like 6 different steps. And then I'll like get intimidated because I'm like, oh, good, well, maybe this kind of now has to be broken up to a new column. And then so I end up just not doing it because I intimidated myself too much.
It's like it became too much.
Yeah. And that's, I think, the hard part. So anyone out there right now that's, trying to go through a spot where it's, like you said, read a book or something, checklists do help, but don't overwhelm yourself. Because I think that's the hardest part with making checklists, is that you put too large of goals on there, and you say, oh, I'm going to learn a different language. And it's like, dude, like, you're not going to do it. You need to break that up. You need to say, oh, well, I'm going to learn how to do 5 words in Chinese, or I'm going to watch 5 videos on this. So if you're learning a new skill, or you're trying to even build a business, start at the very beginning, maybe look towards getting an LLC and just what you want to do, and focus on that first. Talk to your accountant, or someone about getting a business account set up, and what the best categorization would be for you,
right.
And stuff like that. But so lastly, based on your knowledge and expertise, and I think this is going to be a really good one, because where you're at where you also kind of do the same thing I did, I think you're going to have a little better feedback on this. Is because your expertise, what's the future? What do you see the future of athlete branding and marketing look like?
I like that. That's a good question. You know what? I went back and, every year I like to look back and go back to my business plan, make some changes to it, especially in the market research area within our industry, what we do. And one of the biggest things, and this is more tailored, like you said, towards more athletes, but I'm kind of like mix it together. So I feel like within the industry is going to be big on streaming. Streaming and virtual reality is huge for the upcoming future. We need to all leverage that. I feel like some way, if it's an athlete doing some type of virtual reality video or something so you can implement it into a game, or constantly creating your own show or something like that, you got to take advantage of that. I think that is where the future is going. The market shows it. And the funny thing is, in 2017, when I created my business plan, and put that within the market research area, it said the same thing. That's the fun. It said the same thing, but it was like, oh, it's an up and coming thing. Streaming maybe important at some point. Virtual reality, it's interesting within the industry, but not right now. It's not a big thing. Now it's 2020, and everybody's into it. So just imagine where we're gonna go from there. I don't know. It's probably just turned crazy. Like there was a movie that came out with the virtual reality. It was like they were playing video games, but like they actually had they were in it. Like you can actually, I forgot the name of that movie, but you never know where it's gonna go. So I think being creative and leveraging that, that space, those two spaces. How can you get your brain?
I'm all for the augmented reality. I think that's gonna push a little more than the virtual reality.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
It is.
But that's a hard one, because how do you really see that working? Like I think it's just hard because it's so new. It's hard to really comprehend. All right, how would I get this?
Right.
How would I make money off of this? And even me, myself, being in digital marketing, and yourself being in digital marketing, you look at it, like you said, 2 years later, and you're like, I still don't know how to really profit off of this. But damn, it's one of those situations where maybe it's just investing in a different company, or you start small, man. I think the one thing athletes should realize, and I don't think a lot of them do, and it kind of goes back to what you said earlier when you said niche, is a lot of the athlete websites that I see right now, and the one critique that I say, especially even when I see sports marketing companies create these sites, because the problem with sports marketing companies is that they're not a digital marketing company. They're not tech. They're more for helping get sponsorships and to help the athlete grow with PR. And that's kind of what they're really meant to do. So when I see these athlete websites, I'm like, why are you letting your sports marketing? And I get it. I mean, you trust them, but at the same time, I look at them and most of them are all over the place. It's like you did. You separated your brand from your business, and you did that. Most of them I see are homepage, gallery page. They're trying to sell merch of some sort or another. And then they're trying to do like music videos and then supplements. And I'm like, dude, you have like 80 things going on this website. And then you only have like 2 products. I'm like, if you really want to be an e-commerce store, you really need to push the e-commerce side and have that be your niche. Or if you really want to do music, you need to do that. And I think that's one thing I'm really trying to push out there to tell athletes, like, hey, work with and really build a team. Think about it when you're in the game.
Exactly.
It doesn't just take yourself to win a game. Everyone's in there. You guys are working as a team. You do practice every day to try to sync as a team. And so you need other players to help you. And if you don't want to hire a full staff, hire someone who has a full staff, like someone like you who has video and social media, or like myself who does web development, SEO, and brand identity, and kind of use that to your advantage and getting started. So just take steps, and kind of look through that as a possibility. But again, I want to thank you for the call. I'm not going to say pray. I'm really hoping, everything's going to kind of turn out here pretty well in the next few weeks with everything going on in society. And I wish you the best with everything going on. And we'll of course be talking again in the near future, probably once everything kind of settles down a little bit. But for all the fans out there and all the people watching, why don't you again kind of tell them a little bit about what you're doing right now and where they can find you and all that nifty stuff.
Fantastic. Yeah. So right now, so I own a company called Iron Visuals, branding agency. You can go to ironvisuals.com, www.ironvisuals.com. Also get us on social media at iron_visuals. And then Facebook, Facebook is Iron Visuals New York. But yeah, check us out. Personal brand is at Q Gause. So if you want to check me out on IG, I'm always posting some cool videos up there. And look for the near future. We're going to be, once this Corona calms down, we're looking to go out to South Africa to go film out there, then also Colombia and Panama. So we have a couple things planned. Hopefully this doesn't ruin what we got going on for May, but no, we're just looking forward to the near future. And we hope that, everybody's able to check us out. And yeah, thank you for having me on the show. Like, I'm excited. I was, it's blessed to be here. Thank you.